I didn't realize that I was late. Okay, so while I'm alone, I'm just going to talk. I am to the point with Summer's case. I honestly can't wait for Dawn to get out of jail to see where her case turns to, what goes on in the case. Now, don't take it as I can't wait for Dawn to get out of jail, because that's not what I'm saying. I am just saying I want, when he gets out of jail, this case is going to take a huge turn. And that's what I can't wait for. And I really can't, it's going to be a very interesting twist of events. It really will be. And we haven't heard nothing from Candace. We don't know where she's at. I'm still curious on Wisconsin. JLR is actually up there, and not for nothing, I would like to talk to him and see if and what he is. I think it would be pretty. I hate my internet. Considering, nobody has ever been talked to at all in Wisconsin. Nobody. Authorities wouldn't even go there to anybody. For all we know, Summer could be there. Because I will never give up on hope that she's still alive until we have confirmation that she's not. Summer's still here. Summer's still with us. I don't get that weird feeling about her not being here, so I'm just with that. But I also was watching what's his name? Harsh Realities today. I was watching one of his videos today, to say the least. Why is this doing this? It was pretty interesting, to say the least. I'm not going to bring it up share screen because I have the hardest time trying to keep my shit together. If I could find it. It was. Oh, and I was watching another thing today on Summer. Stephanie Harlow has 2 podcasts. She has her own, and then she does another one with some guy named Zach. What was he saying? They did. I think it was a 3-part episode of The Wells. Summer Wells. I'm sorry. I'm dumbfounded. 3-part episode on case, and again, because they are regular podcasts, I don't want to ever discourage anybody from anything, but be careful what you watch, because if you're new to this information through them type of podcast, because they're not real time and they don't go in depth. I mean, research, I'm not going to say that. Stephanie is a very good podcaster. She's very good with true crime. I just think she doesn't get the story. Like when she first Summer's thing, it was right in the beginning. Now I don't remember when they just found it. But once again, there was a lot of misinformation in it, and if I start hearing misinformation, not follow through watching it. I really. Just when people do, where the hell is it? Fucking Turtle Island. Dolly, you're a dumbass. I can't find it anywhere now. Oh my god, Harsh, what did you do with your damn shit? Can't find none of this shit. Stephanie Harlow. That's not the one. Alright, so it's called Crime Weekly. And so the first part came out 11 days ago. The second part came out 4 days ago. So I'm guessing there'll be another part to it. But there's a lot of misinformation in there, and I don't know where they get it from. Like I know they listen to No Thanks Investigation with Doug. They did call him out in it, and they called another creator out. Of course they're going to go with the bigger channels, because they have more subs. But it's not about the subs. It's about the knowledge of the case. Now, there's no reason for them not to want to watch the smaller channels, because some of us smaller channels can give you more information on it than the bigger channels, because the bigger channels get lost in the clicks, the views, and the money. I happen to have been doing Summer's case since it first came out. Not once have I received $1 off fame. Whether or not I have my Cash App, PayPal, or anything like that, I have never received money on Summer's name. And I wouldn't. I would not, even if I was monetized. I will not have their names, any case name in my title or anything like that, and not talk about them and receive money off of it. I would not do that. That's just not me. I'm not that type of person. So thank God I'm not monetized, and thank God my subs and my mods know me like that. And it makes me feel better to know that they do know me. Creators and stuff. I don't know what they're looking for or what they're trying to gain. Is it money? Is it fame? Is it popularity? What is it? What are you looking for off these cases? Because some of you put their names in your titles, and not one time throughout your life do you talk about that person. Now your chat does, but you don't. So what is that saying for you? In Summer Wells, until she's found, this little girl is going to be talked about and talked about and talked about. Her family is going to be ran through the mud over and over and over again. I mean, them boys, her brothers, are old enough to get onto YouTube, y'all. Do you guys not realize this? Like, do you, regardless of what we think of their parents, I'm sure them kids absolutely love their parents, no matter what. Now, myself, I've said this over and over again, I don't believe there was physical abuse. Not like what people think. Like, when you think of a child being abused, you think of them getting smacked around and punched and thrown and this and that for no apparent reason. Parents do believe in the discipline like that. If a child talks back to you, they're going to get smacked. Not necessarily smacked in the mouth, but, just knock your shit off type smack. I happen to be one. That you guys can look at me in a different light if you want to, but me, when my daughter was younger, if she was to talk back, like with an attitude, yeah, of course she's going to get smacked. That's how I was raised. Abused? No. My child has never been abused. Never once. It just makes me laugh how people think nowadays. Like, times have changed. Laws have changed. Shit. Everything has changed. So, like they always say, what is done in the dark will come to light. You will eventually find out what happened. But like I said, as for physical abuse, I really don't believe there was any towards the children. Now, towards each other, the parents, there was physical between them two. Now, verbal and mental abuse, I see that with them. I really do. I see the kids being verbally and mentally abused. I'm not going to deny that. As well as both parents being verbally and mentally abused. With Candace, that's all I think she's ever known of. Like, she's never known what it feels to be treated good, to be talked to like you're human. Like, I don't think she's ever really experienced life like most of us have. So you figure from the time she was, in between 16 and 18, she already had 2 kids. And some of the podcasts you hear, she wasn't, but she was 19 by the time she had her first kid. No, she was younger than 19. She was married by the time she was 19 with 2 kids. So she was a kid raising kids. I know that's not, but to, because of the way she was and how she involved. Like, all she ever knew was to take care of her husband and her kids. And that didn't just go from her first marriage. That went with Don and the 4 that they had. I just believe that she's never had that love, that affection, that care. So, how is she going to bring up her kids? She's going to bring up her kids the way she was brought up. No, we know that wasn't right. I mean, I'm not saying there wasn't neglect, but all I'm saying is you've got to be careful on what you say and how you say it about a person, because it can ruin their lives, no matter what you think. Certain things that are brought up can and will ruin somebody's life, especially if they're not true. Like, let's put mine out there, for example. Like, the shit that certain people are saying about me that is not true. What you see on my record is different. Like, you can pull up my record and see what I was charged with, but I was never convicted of it. Being charged and convicted are totally different. Totally different. Because if CPS is involved, of course law is going to be involved. Of course there's charges going to be brought up. But it's whether or not you're convicted of it. And then I was also told, well, then why don't you get it expunged off your record? I don't have that kind of money. I don't know about you, but I know I don't have that kind of money. So it will stay there. And it was over. Let's see, that happened in 2008, 2009. And here we are, 2022, and you're now bringing it up. How many years ago was that? Do the math. Because I sure fucking a math genius. And hold on 1 second. It was 13 years ago, y'all. 13 fucking years ago. So, neither here or there. I'm just saying, like, I don't know what it is about creators and why they want to be out there to ruin each other. I could care less. There is nothing that these creators can say to me that I already don't know about myself. Now, if they could tell me something about myself I already don't know, I'll give you props. And why I didn't mention it to them to begin with, because I forgot about it. It's 2009. I wasn't charged. Why would I care? But either way. So back to Summer. So what I'm just saying about Summer is, like, we don't know exactly what it was like before Summer went gone. Now, we know the house wasn't up to par. We know this. But obviously, with them dealing with CPS for so long, they obviously didn't think it was in bad condition because they left the kids there. They had a case open right before Summer went missing. It got closed the March before she went missing. Now, do you think that CPS would have took them kids? Because they're all about taking the kids away from their parents. They are. And they're about trying to get the parents, I guess, to do what they're supposed to do. Now, before Summer went missing, don't you think all 4 of them would have been took? Why would they close the case out if it was such a bad living environment? Now, I want you to think about this. They lived in a house with electricity, running water. a roof over their head, food in their stomachs, right? Whether it could be frozen pizza every day, all day. I don't care. At least they're eating something, and it's not junk food, and it's not energy drinks. It's not shit that pizza isn't necessarily good for you, but at least it's substance. It's something that fills your stomach up. I can live on pizza personally. 365 days a year. But just think about this. What if they lived out on the street, had nowhere to go? Nowhere. A tent. Maybe living in a tent or two. Or living in a shelter. Or, I think of scenarios like that. And to me, they would be worse conditions than what they were living in. It didn't seem like the kids were really treated bad. For the most part, they had what they wanted. Just because they didn't live the life like you live it or I live it, doesn't mean they weren't living a happy life. Now, as of Summer's hair being shaved, I have seen personally, including my child, take scissors and cut their own hair. Take the clippers and buzz their hair. My husband's little cousin did it one year. She totally fucked her hair up. She took them buzzers and went zoom, zoom, zoom. Like she had spots all over her fucking head. Like she was a leopard or something. But so they had to like totally shave her head like Summers. Because she did such a fucked up job on her own hair. They literally had to cut her hair off and have it restarted. So I can kind of see that happening with Summer. But because of all the naysays and all the people shit, I don't believe this and I don't believe that. Sometimes the stuff that they give you to put in to get rid of it does not work. Maybe some of the people that are bitching about it never had head lice, so they wouldn't know. The people that do have head lice, you cannot tell me, or did have head lice, you cannot tell me, hello, Amy Lou. You cannot, every time your parents did your hair as a kid, it came out the first time. No, I'm sorry. Because them eggs, the nits from the lice, them things are like rubber cemented to your hair follicles. It is a pain in the ass to get it out. My daughter had head lice maybe twice her whole life. And she had caught it from other family members. But I took her to a dermatologist and got this special hair stuff for it. I can't tell you the name of it, but it smelled like turpentine, and it smelled like pine oil, and it just had like this really distinctive smell to it. But it worked. You left it on for 8 hours, and it worked. It literally took everything out of your hair. Like if you had, like, say you had dry scalp, it took all that out. It took every bit of the lice and the nits out. Like, it worked really good. So the second time my daughter got it, I got the same stuff, and it worked. Like, I really believe by it. I wish I would know the name of it so I could tell other people to, God forbid they're it, they can get the same shit. But maybe they just didn't, maybe they tried different hair stuff on Summer and it just didn't work. I don't know. I just don't like the fact that people just jump to conclusions because her head is shaved. Maybe she did want to have her head shaved like the boys. The boys at one time, their hair probably was shaved that low. And maybe because of how short her hair already was, maybe they had a slip up with. No, I wasn't there, so I can't tell you. None of us were there, so none of us can say what happened to Summer's hair, why it was shaved. And people, the Wells property and house have been searched and over again, very thoroughly. A lot of that mess that we seen in the CM video with Candace taking them through the house and stuff, a lot of that mess upstairs in the living room, kitchen area, whatever it was, is from people donating stuff to them. That isn't all how it was with living there. I'm not saying it's any better. Not to mention, you got to remember when he went to Utah, she was packing up, trying to move from there and trying to sell the land. So a lot of stuff was in boxes too. I don't want people to think I'm making excuses for them. I'm not. I'm just coming up with other scenarios. Plus, I was already told. Oh, great. Thanks, hon. But like, there's so many different scenarios you can go Summer's case. And right now, all we can do is speculate and have our own theories. But because everybody jumps to conclusions and thinks of the worst, absolute worst, because, from gate jump, from off jump gate, people hated the Wells, the parents. I don't know if it's because of what they look like, what they sound like, where they've lived. I don't know why people hated them to begin with. But I think that's very petty and immature. They are human, and everybody deserves a chance. Not everybody lives the same. Not everybody can afford the same shit as everybody else. Granted, I live in a beautiful story house with fence. Do I live in that? No. I'm not going to lie and say my house is immaculate, because it's not. I live in my house. I have children, not my children, my nieces and nephews, that come in my house and destroy it all the time. Do I clean up? Yes. Do I pick up? Yes. Does it look like I never do? Yes. Because we live here. I don't have 101 rooms where we stay and the rest of the house stays clean. No. I don't know whose house stays like that. Like, you must have a maid. And if you can afford a maid, then you are living large. Because I'm sorry, I am my maid. I am my cook. I am my maid. I am my chauffeur. I'm everything. So, do I want to make time to do all that shit? Hell no. No, I don't. But do I have to? Yes. Who's your friend, Candace? Is Candace your friend for real? Oh, gosh, it's not working. Hold on. Let me move around a little bit. Hey, Gemma, how are you, sweetheart? Is she okay? If she is your friend, is she okay? Because I'm very worried about her. Like, I've never once said a bad word about them. Like, I don't believe any of the gossip and BS that goes out about them. I've never, like I said, I've never bashed them. I just hope she's okay and she's doing good. Like, I really want to see her get her boys back. I've been trying for a year to befriend her. I don't want to befriend her and ask her a million and one questions about Summer. No. I want to make sure she's okay as a person. I was even hoping when I went up there for June 15th that I would have seen her around or something, but I didn't. Hey, JL. She's doing much better. Good, good, good. I've always wanted to meet her, like, and just give her a freaking hug and be like, tell her like shit is gonna be okay. Like, just give it time. And I completely understand why, because it really would piss me off when people were like, oh, she's not out there doing this for Summer, she's not out there doing that. But they don't understand. They've gotten death threats. They've gotten stalked. They've gotten called all kinds of names. And not for nothing, after Dawn went to jail, somebody's stupid ass threw a bag of dirty sex toys on her property. You know what kind of people do shit like that? Like, why would you do shit like that? Like, it just burns my brain up. They were both beautiful. Both of the 1 year mark vigils were beautiful. I went to both of them. I didn't get no weird feelings. Like, I believe Summer's still with us. Like, I didn't get that feeling anywhere. Even when I went by because I did go down Ben Hill, but there was people sitting in their driveway. So I wasn't trying to go up the driveway anyway. I just wanted to see if I can, like, look at the swing. That's all I wanted to see was the swing. Like, if I really wanted to go up there, I would have went up that little path, the dog trail. Like, I'm not scared of climbing in the woods. But I wasn't pushing my luck either. Like, I wasn't there to talk to people. I didn't want to talk to any really of the local people because they've been badgered and bugged by so many people. I just didn't believe that I should be one of the ones to do that. I went there for Summer. I went there to keep Summer's name out, because I live in North Carolina. So from where I live up through Tennessee, every place I stopped, I put one of the flyers out for her, even in North Carolina, because I just feel like she could be anywhere. I really feel like she's in Wisconsin, only because we really haven't heard nothing from anybody in Wisconsin. Grandma keeps going there. So I'm just like, yeah, like when I went, even on Ben Hill, everybody's like, oh, it's so scary and creepy. It felt like a normal street to me. Like, the only place that I had a weird feeling at was Warrior's Path, and down by the water. I had this feeling, but it wasn't the water per se. It's that tree that they made like a shrine to her on, that kind of gave me like a memorial feeling. Like I was at her memorial, like not at a vigil or at, I don't even know what I want to call it, because I guess I never really understood what a vigil was. Like, and I still kind of get confused on why they did a remembrance rock up in the, what is it, Ogden? I don't know. Can you explain that to me? Where you? But yeah, so at the watering hole, like if you're there to keep her name in light and keep her just out there, I don't know. Like, I feel like she's still with us. I just don't know where she is, and it's driving me crazy. But I also want the boys to be okay, and I want Dawn and Candace to be okay. Like, I really never, ever thought Candace did anything. Like, I think she might have fell asleep, and that's where the guilty knowledge comes from. Because she fell asleep and she woke up, Summer was gone. Or she really could have been helping Grandma, and time just got away from them. They weren't, they were talking and stuff, wrapping her knee and whatever. So I feel like maybe that she just lost track of time. She's kind of like me when it comes to time. She's not perceptive of looking at the clock per se to say, oh, it's this time. No, she has like, it's breakfast, lunch, and dinner time, So I kind of understand that. Like, I followed the steps that they say they took the day that Summer went missing. I went to the hospital. I went to Allie's. I went to Priceless. I went to the hippie house. But I was told she didn't go to that Catch 22 or whatever. That really, they didn't really go there. So, but I still went there. And not for nothing, y'all. Her sleeping on the way home. I almost fell asleep from from Priceless to their house. Like, I almost fell asleep. It's a boring ride. And Allie's house is about, I want to say about 30 to 45 minutes from Ben Hill, just because of how long and curvy these roads are. It's crazy. If you don't live out there, them roads are horrible. Yeah, and that's what I was trying to explain. Like, a lot of the mess that we seen when her and Chris M first went in that house isn't because of them leaving the house a mess. That's a lot of stuff that was donated to them from like the church and just people donating stuff when Summer first went missing. So a lot of that clutter is from that. I'm mad because I've always wanted to talk to her. Yeah, I can't stand how people get treated. Like, what is the purpose? Why are you treating these people like this? We don't know exactly what happened in that house. We don't know exactly what happened in Summer. We don't know anything. Nothing. And I mean, we really have nothing to talk about still. But there's a guarantee somebody somewhere will have something to say. And I can't tell you how many people I have argued with for over a year now with this case. I get such a migraine from this case. It's like this little girl has everybody's heart in her hands and she doesn't even know it. She does not even know it. And then it hurts my heart to think that, at least the two older boys can get onto YouTube and can see what's going on here and see how everybody talks about their parents. And, that's not right. I don't believe in that stuff. And, and not for nothing, I believe if they were old enough, do you know how many of these damn creators would try to get them on their channel? Just saying. She has. You got to think, from at least 16, she's been a mom and a wife. She never had the experiences that we had as children, as teenagers growing up. So now, no husband, no kids, so there for a while, she was on that kick. I'm by myself. I get to do me for a little bit. And nobody understood that. Like, they're like, oh, she's laughing and happy. And what do you want her to be like? You don't want her to live her life? She's still got to do for her. I hope they are too, but kids find their way. Even if they're only on YouTube Kids, there's still a way for them to get to the adult sites. Hey, Kazzy. So we're at this point where, what do we believe? And where do we go? I'm never going to be one of those ones that are on the bandwagon with they did something to their kid. No, I don't even believe there was physical abuse towards these kids. Now, maybe verbal and mental, because that is what they were taught growing up. So that's, of course, how they're going to, if they're not taught any better, that's what they're going to relive for their kids. Now, I've never believed there's been physical abuse towards them kids. Now, I do believe they probably do, got smacked here and there just for shit that they know they're not supposed to do. Like my daughter even said, like they were like, "Are you scared of your mom and dad?" And she's like, "No." Well, only when I know I'm going to get in trouble for something I did wrong. Aha. Kids are not as stupid as people think they are. They're a little bit smarter, especially this day and age. Like these kids this day and age know more shit than I guarantee you we did at our age, their age. You would believe anything at this moment? What do you mean by that, hon? Hold on, y'all. Oh. All right, sorry. Hello, toaster. Welcome in, gorgeous. Kazzy, can you define what you mean by that? Like, what do you mean you would believe anything? And I honestly think a lot of the bigger channels kind of flip flop this case. Not saying they did bad or harm, but some of them did some stupid shit that they should have never even done. Stupid shit. Because, not for nothing, if Candace and Don could have got the boys back, certain dumbasses went up there and caused them to lose their job. So how would they have even been able to provide for them kids if they would have got them back? Hello, dumbasses. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I feel bad for the whole family. Because I'm sorry, even though Summer is the victim in it, they're all victims of it. Because now the boys are taken away from their parents. Don's in jail, which, I am really waiting for him to get out because I could just imagine where this case is going to go once he gets out. Like, I've never said that he's guilty or not guilty. I've always said he's kind of sketchy. I'm not going to lie. Like, to me, he has that sketchy vibe. Candace has that vibe like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, I'm just here. Like, she's like a shell. Exactly. Yes, I agree with you there. Like, there is so many conspiracy theories, so many speculations that, and I've said this since the 1 year mark, like, I wonder what everybody's views are going to be like now. Like, are you still on the up where you think she's alive? Are you on the down where you think she's not? Are you on the abduction theory? Are you on the wandering off theory? Are you on an accident theory? On purpose theory? Like, I believe she's with us. I still do. I just believe she might even be somewhere in plain sight and we just don't know. All right, love. Thank you for coming in. Okay, so Summer Wells was a 5-year-old little girl that went missing June 15th of 2021. You can find her story all over the fucking internet because that year, like several other kids went missing the same time frame, Gemma, and Summers was like primarily the only one really, really publicized. Like it went from here to there to there to here. You know, like every country in the world knows about this case. Okay, so what, Kaz, my thing on that is, Kazi, is that when they say that Candace has guilty knowledge of something, I think it's either she fell asleep and when she woke up, Summer wasn't there, and that's where the guilty part comes from. Or that time just got away from her and Grandma when she was wrapping the grandma's knee or whatever she was doing for her. You know, time does slip away from people where you don't even realize you've been that long. Like there's times that I've been online for like 5 hours and thought it was only like an hour or so. Like it just you get so involved in it, you just don't even realize it. All right, babe, let me know how it works out. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I talked about Summer. I did a lot on Likey. I did it a lot. Like I would talk about her constantly. But so Gemma, the family 6 weeks after Summer went missing, CPS came in and took her 3 older brothers. Now, everybody has their own theory on why the boys got took, but we don't know the real reason. A lot of people can say is because the way they lived. They didn't live in that storybook house with the white picket fence. No, they lived in a lived-in house that was being remodeled little by little. You'll hear people say that someone saw her and the dad coming out of the bathroom from taking a shower together, which is very impossible. You cannot see the bathroom from the front door. It's behind another wall and a door. So that is a lie right there. You will hear how the parents did something to her, whether it be on purpose or accidental, and buried her somewhere. We don't know that to be true. That is something that we're still waiting to find out. You will probably hear that Grandma took her somewhere because there is this going around that Grandma was supposed to adopt Summer when Summer was born. But then when the dad seen Summer's face, he was like, oh, that's it, my baby girl. No, you can't have her. So people think Grandma had a vendetta against the dad for that reason. And she took Summer. And then you'll hear that because the dad and one of his stepsisters had some kind of inappropriate playtime, as I would say it, when they were kids, that automatically carries on to his children, which I don't believe that one bit. But I do have my theory on that as well, because that just keeps my head turning. Like, I don't understand. Like, okay, if you are saying that your brother molested you when you were 5, and it lasted for what, 7 years on and off, which he admitted that this stuff happened. He said it was just like touch and feel. It wasn't nothing more than that, which that's still bad enough. She was 5. She did say something to her parents, but They lived in a time where what happens in my house stays in my house. It don't go no further. Fine. But if it caused you that much trauma, why did you not say something when you moved out of that house before he had kids? Makes you think. Why did you wait 40 years to find out that the niece you've never met, never had anything to do with, went missing, and then go to authorities and tell the authorities what happened to you when you were a kid? I can't wrap my head around why wait 40 years. Why? I agree with you 100%, Gemma. Everybody has their opinions. Yeah, see, and that I would believe more than anything, Toaster Evan. I would believe that more than anything that is going around about why the boys got took. I totally do agree with you. Like it I feel like it was for safety reasons too. And Don even mentioned that at one point. Come on, like they were getting death threats on a daily, y'all. Like daily. They were getting not even just death threats, regular threats against them. Like their 5-year-old daughter's missing, and you guys are threatening these people. Like they didn't even let the story even come out before people had their own opinions of what happened. Oh, I forgot to turn my AC on. Hold on. I knew it was hot. What you doing? Why are you following me everywhere? Okay. So, but like you said, everybody's gonna have their opinion no matter what. Whether it be a good opinion or a bad opinion, they're still gonna have their opinion. But I was always raised to think like this: opinions are like assholes, and everybody's got one. Whether you believe that opinion or not is up to you. Like half of the shit going around about this story, I'm sorry, I just don't believe. I do not believe half of what is being said. And I guess that's because I didn't grow up uh, wealthy. I didn't grow up like my parents were on food stamps when I was a kid. We had no choice sometimes to live off of the government. But that doesn't mean I'm a bad person for it. I didn't have my daughter wasn't under I grew up under the government shit. I mean, but I don't see it as a bad thing if you need the government's help as long as you don't live off the government. And I can see where that is truth too, Toaster. Like I don't think I could have left my house on that. Like knowing that people are always looking at you like you did something. And you're saying they're like, no, I didn't. I didn't do this. I didn't do this. I didn't do this. But yet everybody's constantly on you. You did this. You did this. It's your fault. It's your fault. Like I said, not for nothing. Even if they would have got the boys back before Don went to jail for 11 months or whatever, um, how would they have supported the boys? Because you had the dumbasses go up there and fucking get them fired, calling them baby killers and just all kinds of, excuse my language, fucked up shit. Like these parents, once Summer got missing, they couldn't live a normal life no more. So I am very interested to see what's going to come out. The outcome is going to be once Don gets out. Honestly, I want to see how shit gets twisted and turned even more. Yes, exactly, Gemma. Because people have had it out for these parents since day one. Day one. They have had like the most fucked up conception of these people I have ever heard of. Like, you hear the parents that are selling their kids for drug debts and shit, but yet they're not put on a chopping block. They're not put in the center of town to be tarred and feathered. Summer's parents are. Like, they can't even catch a fucking break. They don't really have many people on their side. And then now, and I wouldn't blame them for thinking everybody, any creator on YouTube is out to get them, out to defy them. But we're not. Not all of us are like that. Not all of us at all. Like, I'm always going to be innocent until proven guilty. You show me facts, I might believe it. But all this hearsay, all this speculation on the case, I don't believe it. And I wouldn't. And that's one thing, though, Gemma, with this case, there is no evidence. They have no evidence on anything. They have no evidence of her wandering off. They have no evidence if somebody took her. They have no evidence on if something bad happened to her. Nothing. There is no evidence in this case. And then everybody's screaming, they should be arrested. They should be in jail. For what? What do you want these people in jail for? What did they do? Can anybody explain to me what they did that they need to be sitting in jail for it? Their daughter is missing. There's no evidence saying they done anything. And that's how I look at it. And I'm always going to look at it like that until I get some kind of proof. And I'm telling you right now, I think she was took. And I believe, and I don't give a damn, I think Ronnie Lawson has something to do with it. That is my speculation. That is my theory, my opinion, and I don't give a damn. I believe Ronnie Lawson, the sheriff of Hawkins County, sucks ass. He does not know what the fuck he's doing. He needs to get out of fucking office. Needs to let somebody fresh and new get in there. But nobody will run against him. Why? Their mayor has only been mayor for one term. 1 year. One term. Not 1 year, but one term. Why are you giving up the seat? Why haven't we heard anything from the mayor on Summer's case? It's been over a year. He has some kind of got to have something in his brain about this case. Nothing out of the mayor. And I've been wanting to call that man, but I know if I do get a chance to talk to him, it's only going to be like enough time for a few questions. So I can't find the right questions that I want to ask. Now, I have called the Hawkins County. We got a Harnett County here in North Carolina, so I keep getting it mixed up. I have called Hawkins County jail, not jail, sheriff's office. And I have called TBI. Not for the same reason everybody else has called. Not to ask about information on the case, not to find out when they're going to get arrested. None of that. I want to know who's over the case. Because it depends on what day it is and what time of day and what response you get. When I called, I think it was a guy I talked to, I'm pretty sure it was the guy there, that I talked to said TBI was over the case. They're just assisting TBI. I said, are you sure about that? He's like, yes, ma'am. I was like, okay. Call TBI. And asked TBI who was over the case. The lady there said, quote my words now, oh, we are not over the case. We're just assisting Hawkins County. Well, Hawkins County just told me y'all were over the case, not them. So maybe that's why nothing is getting done. Because they can't even figure out who the fuck is over the case. Who's lead on this case? And I know I've said that several thousand times in my videos, my lives too. Like, They can't get their shit together. What is going on with Tennessee? Like, there's so many missing kids in Tennessee. It's not even funny. Tennessee is one of the highest rates of missing kids in the United States. At the time Summer went missing, it was the highest state. They're also really on the, they've got a high rate for ST over there. And Gemma, if you don't know what that means, ST is SEX, trafficking. So, we just don't know these days no more. We don't know nothing, and it's just kind of crazy. Okay, so let's move on to Kylie Rodney. Okay, Gemma, Kylie was a girl that just went missing August 6th of this year. She went to a party on August 5th, and she never made it home. Supposedly, she texted her mom at what was it, like 11:45, and said she would be leaving the party in 45 minutes. Now she's supposed to be home by like 11:30. So the reason why she texted her mom and told her mom that is because she knew she'd be late. Her mom said, okay, well, when you get home, make sure you wake me up. Well, the next morning when her mom got up, realized that Kylie never woke her up when she got home. She went to check on her, and Kylie wasn't in her room. Hey, brainworms. Hey, love. Are you okay, sweetie? Now, a bunch of her friends are sketchy as hell. Sammy, now that there's only like 3 or 4 of them, 5 of them maybe, that they named out of all her friends. Okay, so she was a 16-year-old girl that went to a charter school and graduated high school at the age of 16. So most of her friends aren't from the same school. You know, most of them were regular public schools. Okay, I've been worried about you, sweetheart. I even messaged you this morning. And okay, so I'm just telling you what I know of the case because I wasn't going to do this case, but my mods thought they were cute and figured, hey, let's keep talking about this in chat. Dippy's going to pick it up. Dippy will eventually do it. You know, they're just little brats like that, but I love them all. So I didn't get into it until like almost the second week of the case. Well, like I said, she went to this party. This party had like 200 to 300 people. Most of them she didn't know. And a couple of their friends were like, there was older guys there. So it wasn't just like their age range type kids. There was also probably people in their lower to mid 20s at this party with all these little 16, 17, and 18-year-olds. So a couple of friends were like in the I don't know if it was interviews through news or what, but they were like all these older guys were there and trying to get them to do bong rips, which I didn't know what the fuck that meant at first. I had to look it up. It meaning that they were trying to get them to do as many bong hits as they could or whatever. They were drinking there. Now, I don't know about California guidelines, but in the state of North Carolina, even for group parties like that, there's no alcohol allowed in any state park. None. No state park whatsoever. Especially campgrounds. I had a friend that we went just to go to the lake to go swimming, and the rangers pulled up and seen that he had something in a cup. When they took the cup and smelled it and realized it was beer, they checked his car and found the 12-pack and made him dump every one of those beers out on the ground. Pretty funny. Because I'm not a drinker, so I thought it was hilarious. But so I know for a fact here in North Carolina, alcohol is not permitted on any state thing. Now, California might be a little bit different. We don't know. But it's just, I get a tickle every time I talk about that. So, and I had called the campground last week sometime. I'll tell you when I called. Oh, my phone don't go back that far. Okay. So I called, it was probably around the 12th of August. And I asked them how many people are allowed to be on the campsite at one time. And they told me it depends on if they were doing single campsites, family campsites, or group campsites. And I said, okay, what about a group campsite? They said no more than 20 to 30 people at most. I said, well, how did you have 200 to 300 people at a party and y'all didn't know about it? She said, well, that night there were 4 campsites, group sites, 4 camp group sites. Reserved. Now, she said there was only 2 rangers for this whole entire campsite that night. 2. My thing is, if you knew somebody rented 4 campsites, 20, 30, 40, 60 at the most, 20, 30, 40, 60, 20, 40, 60, 80. That's at least 80 kids. Now, if you do 30, that's 120 kids at the most. Shouldn't there be more than 2 rangers on duty that night? Just saying. Like, personally, there should have been more than 2 rangers. And they wouldn't, of course, not going to give you the information on who rented the site or anything like that. And considering it was an ongoing investigation into a missing persons child, they really couldn't talk no more about it. They really weren't even supposed to give me that much information, which I appreciated they gave me any. But, so, you know, all these things, my first thing was when I first started to look into it, either A, she never showed up to this party at all, or number 2, she never left that party at all. It can only be 2. She never left or never went. Now we know for a fact she went to that party. Grant you, we haven't never seen no pictures of her there, but we got to also remember 4 days ago, maybe 5 days ago, 55 feet from the party place to the water and 4 feet down in the water, they found Kylie's car and her in it. Now, I'm not sure if it was speculated or if Adventures with a Purpose, the ones that found her, said that she was buckled into the back seat or she was just in the back seat. But when they brought the car up, the driver's side window was broke, The driver's side rearview mirror was broke. And I think they said the back window was down. I don't know. There's just questions. Now, if you watch Ryan Upchurch, which I don't know what you guys think of him, I've never been a real big fan of him, especially when he got into true crime. Like when he started covering Summer's case, he had so much misinformation, and yeah, I was one of the ones that said something about the misinformation to him. But I think he's onto something with this Kylie case. I really, really, really think he's onto something with Kylie's case. Like, why was that girl Zanime in that lake with scuba gear? Her chat was telling her to make sure she had the window breaker thingy. And just, why the fuck was she out there? This Ronnie guy, supposedly his two cousins, were at the party, and they kind of seen Kylie everywhere they went, or they were following her. Why haven't they come out to tell their story? Why is it okay for their cousin to tell their story? How does he know so much information? I'm sure that his cousins were inebriated just as much as the rest of these kids at this party. So how does he know all this information if he wasn't there? Oh, wait, that's because he used to go to parties before this there. But they said the parties never got this big. Now, our one friend that went with her to this party left 10 minutes after she got there. You guys got there as soon as it started. How do you know how many people showed up? You were there for 10 minutes. Now, and if you also listen to Meg's and Sammy's interviews, and then you go back and listen to Ronnie's, there's too much coincidences in their stories. Too much. Too much. Like, there is way too much coincidence. And I was listening to Harsh Reality this morning on Kylie's case. He brings up some valid points too. He always does, and I hate to admit that, but he does. And I'm glad a lot of other creators didn't really jump on the Kylie bandwagon, because I hate to see this case get like Summers. Point being, that's why I didn't really want to get involved in Kylie's, because I just didn't want all the fuckery to come with it. Like, I'm not saying I caused it, because I'm just a small channel, so nobody really listens to me. Nobody really pays attention to me, which is a good thing sometimes. But Ryan, I think, has some good points. The one kid that he talked to, Myro, the one that started all this Ronnie bullshit with him, is related to Zanime. Ronnie, Zanime, like, if you look up Zanime's name, you'll see a bunch of shit that comes up with it, like something to do with the dark web. There's some porn shit. Like, kid, like, it's not just regular porn. And YouTube Kids thing pops up with it. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. I mean, I could just be reaching and just being out in left field with all of this, but I don't feel like I am. I just wish her friends would, like, come out and tell the truth of what happened, because I feel like they know more than they are telling us. Lay down. Sorry, y'all. My dog is a pain in the ass. She's got to be covered up with a blanket. But I think there's more to the Kylie story than we're all getting. And her friends know a lot more than they're saying. But only time will tell. We got to wait for that toxicology to come back. And if her parents don't seal it, we can find out. But with so many people that have helped with this case, it would be kind of petty to keep it from, especially the ones that have been following it since day one. Like, I don't really even believe that it was her that texted her mom. For some reason, I just don't believe that. I don't believe it was her texting her mom. And they said that the front seat of the car was pushed all the way back. Kylie was short. Kylie was a shorty. So I don't think she was driving. Somebody could have sat in there and pushed it. It could have, like, with Kylie, I think it was foul play. I really do think it was foul play. I don't know why yet, but I think it was foul play. I don't know. I think somebody did something to her because we don't know if she was clothed, if they found her with either one of those two sweatshirts. But what was she doing in the back seat is my question. Like, why was she in the back seat of her own car? Unless she fell asleep in the back seat to sleep off, whatever she drank or whatever. And somebody went to steal her car because it was just sitting there and they didn't realize she was in the back seat. And then they did something. And that's how she ended up in the water. But I said from day one, she either didn't go to that party or she didn't leave that party. So we finally found out that she never left the party. But why at 16 would you allow your 16-year-old child to go to a party that late? Like, she allowed her. Like, when I was 16, I would have to sneak to do some shit like that. My mother and father would never allow me to go to a party that. No way. God, no. My dad would have a freaking conniption fit. Yeah, I believe it was foul play. Like, there was something seriously going on with her friends. Like, Sammy wasn't even a good friend of hers like she said she was. Sammy and her didn't go to the same school or nothing like that. They just recently met within the months leading up to this party. So that's a lie right there. And then if you listen on, she was on American Dream Chaser. I don't know. I can't remember the guy's podcast. But she was on there talking to him, and she had slipped up and said, I was driving. I mean, I was riding. Like, did you think nobody else was going to catch that? Like, she literally said that shit. Hold on a minute. Eva, stop. Oh my God, I wish I would have never went camping. Now my freaking nose won't stop. No, gotta go back this way. But yeah, I really think there was foul play involved in Kylie's. With Summer, I just think somebody took her. Like, whether it be for good reasons or bad reasons, I believe somebody just took Summer. I believe whoever did take her, like, followed her and knew when she was there. Like, I believe they knew, like, the daily plan or whatever. But it had to be somebody that knew the family, knew their property and shit like that. It wasn't just some random person. That's for damn sure. Um, and not for nothing with Summer's case, kids know more about their property than their parents. They like to go exploring. They like to play in the woods. Like them kids were outside kids. For the most part, they played outside a lot. So it's hard to if you don't lay down, it's hard to know what's truth and what isn't with Summer's case. Have you been following the Tati case yet? The Tatiana Luke case? Hold on one second. But I don't know. Like, I'm so stuck anymore on Summer's case. I just wish they'd find her and we knew what happened. Or at this point, I don't give a fuck what happens. I just want her home. I want her to be found. Whether alive or not, I want that baby girl to come home. You know, I'd rather her be in socks than a box, but if we box in socks, then at least we can give her the homecoming that she deserves. And there's this one sub. She drives me absolutely nuts. She's not my sub, thank God. Like, I'm so grateful that she's not subbed to me. Yeah, there's a lot of UK people, though. There's a lot of people from UK that follow our cases here. I don't know if you ever heard of Michelle After Dark or Michelle Walks. She's from the UK. Then you got Harsh Reality. He's from the UK. Then you got Crime Stories Obsessed. She's from the UK. Um, my friend Maisie in here, she's from the UK. Kazzy's from the UK. See, there's a lot of UK people. There really is. I think I want to say there might be more UK than there is US, honestly. But you guys have a lot of stories yourself over there. You guys just had a 9-year-old little girl get shot. Thank God they found the person who did it, but yeah, there's a lot. I don't know many people outside of the U.S. and maybe Canada. Canada, U.S., and UK are the ones that I know the most of. I know there's a couple from other countries, but there's only a few of them I think that I know of anyway. Yeah, I went camping and I scratched the shit out of my leg, and it's just now scabbing up, and it hurts. Oh, you live in Liverpool? Well, isn't that where that case just came from? That little girl? I try not to follow ongoing cases, and I've been trying my hardest not to. For the simple fact, because look what it did to everybody with Summer's case. Gemma, you weren't here, but I know Cassie was. Look at all the shit that everybody has gone through with Summer's case. It has brought people down. It has brought people to a place they've never been before. Oh my gosh. How do I delete it? It doesn't let me delete it. Oh my god. Oh, okay, cool. Um, so there's a petition up to change the Amber Alerts in the United States. I don't know if you guys seen it yet or not. Um, but they're trying to get it changed to where there's not a criteria that the child has to meet in order to be able to be put on it. Then somebody sent me a new some guy killed 4 people at a homeless shelter. And she said it's down in your area. So I looked at it and it said Kentucky. And I'm like, no, I'm not in Kentucky. I'm in North Carolina. And she said, I don't know the map down there. I said, Kentucky's like in between Ohio and Tennessee. That ain't nowhere near North Carolina. I'll tell you, people be sending me some of the weirdest shit. Like, how about this case? Talk about this case. No, they don't understand. I really don't like doing ongoing cases. Summer's case really broke me from that. It really, really broke me from that. And with all the fuckery that's been going on in her case and all the lies and just bullshit, it makes me not want to do ongoing cases. Like I really wasn't gonna jump on the Kylie bandwagon. I really wasn't. And then somebody brought another case to me yesterday. The little girl's name is Tatiana Luke. She's 14. Her mom is desperately looking for her. She was currently on Benny Keys live last night. So he's on the case with her. I'm definitely stepping away. I'm gonna let him deal with that. And the rest of the ones that want to deal with it, go for it. I'm staying out of it. I like doing the cold cases. I like doing the trials. I also like doing the ones that have already been solved. Just going over them and keeping them in light because there's so many other stories that probably mirror them. So like I said, there was a lot of kids that went missing in 2021. A lot. And I've seen Summer's case put up against so many other cases that they're like, oh, comparing it, and there's no comparison. Like, how can you compare Summer's case to any case? There's no evidence. There is nothing in Summer's case. A bunch of speculation, a bunch of theories. We're all lost when it comes to Summer's case. But we all have one thing in common. We want Summer found. And most want the parents convicted of God forbid what. I mean, I've heard so many different wild ass stories on Summer's case. Like there was this one phone call to one YouTuber about the youngest boy. And it was a bunch of bullshit, a bunch of lies. I mean, got the name of the place that he may be at right, but the rest of the story bullshit. And I'll lay it on my lives, and I won't put it in my video section because that's just more bullshit that's put out about the case. And I think the person only did it because she knows how big that creator is. And I think she thought she'd get something from it. That's my opinion. So I don't know. It is. It's been. I've never got a headache from a case until Summer's case. Because you don't know what to believe or who to believe. Like, I would believe people that have been there, and I believe people that live around her before I believe people that just cover it. Because grant you, yes, Don get on YouTube while he was drunk and just spewing out shit, yes. Like, I personally believe that he did that shit because he knows what they wanted to hear. And so he was giving them what they wanted to hear. I don't believe half the shit that he said while he was drunk. I don't know about you, Kez, but to me, I just believe that he was just telling people what they wanted to fucking hear. I don't know. Oh, God, she's a pain in my ass. But it's so confusing. Like, I seriously don't know what to think anymore when it comes to Summer's case. I really don't. And I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I also don't want, I'm tired of hearing all the lies and rumors. Because I believe if you weren't there, you don't know the truth. Like, and then I feel like if you've never walked a day in their shoes, how do you know how the fuck they were? How do you know what type of people they were? So, in other words, you don't know them personally, but you're going to stereotype them to fit your narrative. And that's what I feel like everybody has done. I got a really good friend, and she's a writer. She writes books, mostly mysteries, and now she's moving on to love stories. Speaking of the devil, oh, what did I do? Hold on, Laura. Where'd you go? Bring your ass back up. Laura, get up here. I was just talking about you. There you are.
Button.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Are you there?
Hi, honey. So, y'all, this is my friend Laura. This is the one I was just telling you that she's an author. She likes to write books. I'm trying to coax her into writing one about Summer's case, but she doesn't want to do it until it's completely solved and figured out. So, um, so yeah, nothing new has come about with Summer's case. Although her dad will be getting out of jail at the end of October, so it should be interesting to see what comes about once he comes out. Um, but there's a new case. It hasn't completely been solved. It was a missing 16-year-old that disappeared from a party of 200 to 300 people. But they found her in her car 55 feet from the campsite that they had the party at, 14 feet down in the water. So now the next part is to find out how, who, what, where, and when, which should be interesting too, because I think her friends are a bunch of sketchy little shits. Not to mention the one that was like primarily the one that did shit. She started this whole like teen speak up thing to where the parents, no media, no nothing like that came about. And then her and her parents just moved to what's I think it was? I don't know, somewhere away from California. Um, from what I heard, it was because she's starting college there. But why the hell would you all move there?
Because they're weird.
And a bunch of them, yeah, a bunch of the people have been told not to talk to the adults, not to talk to the law. Don't. I mean, and there's a whole bunch of pictures floating around about this party, and there's this one of like a group. I'm gonna try to bring it up. No, I don't think I have it on here. I'm gonna try to bring it up and see if my shit will stay connected. But a lot of times when I try to share screen, it won't. Oh, wait a minute.
Don't eat my phone, baby.
Where's my pictures? Are you playing with the dog?
He's trying to eat my phone.
What did you name him?
Nico.
What did you name him?
Nico Kai.
Wow. Really?
Nico. Yes. Connor picked Nico and I picked Kai.
Oh, it won't let me bring it up. How do I do that?
I don't know.
It's not letting me
Trying
bring
to
up
do.
my. Trying to bring my. I just don't know how to do it. Yes. I have a picture. Let me see if I can bring it up on here. When I do it this way, it never works out. So, just, okay. So this is one of the pictures going around. Oh, it works. Okay, they're all standing around, just a bunch of them, and they think this might be a still shot from a video view. But if you look, most of them are looking towards where that arrow is at. Now, if you would enlarge it, oh wait, you can't really see from that one. Get away. I have another one of it. There it is. All right, I don't know if you can see it. But you see where that circle? See where that circle? It looks like a light, does it not? And it looks like this kid over here is rubbernecking it to look at it. Or is it just me?
No.
Okay, so they're thinking that might have been Kylie's car going into the water. But 55 feet from where these people were is the. There's no way you'd have been able to see the light that bright, for one. For two, the car went in front end first. You wouldn't have seen because the light would have been pointing downwards, not upwards. So what the hell is that light that they're looking at?
That's one of the who, what, where, when, and how.
Exactly. And plus, they're waiting for a toxicology report to come back on her to see what she all had in her system. Because supposedly she was drunk off her ass. And if you listen to her mom and some of her real friends, they all said that she was smart, that she would never drink and drive. She would never drive in that condition. And it seems like her mother really, really, really trusted her. I remember being 16. I remember some of the shit I did. Now, I wasn't lucky enough to have a car at 16, but I still remember some of the shit I did that my parents, to this day and time, if I told my mom about it, she'd be like, no way. You never did that type of stuff. What you didn't know back then did not hurt you now did it?
My parents didn't know what I did.
Like
I
it's
still
just
hear. Do you remember when?
Yep. Do you remember this? And do you remember that? No. I sure don't. I don't want to be. I don't want to remember it.
Do you remember when the cops brought you? Do you remember when the cops brought you? Sure don't.
Yeah, like I don't want to remember some of the things I did when I was a kid. I don't. But you have to get the things with it too. AWP was told not to search. Found her. They said, law enforcement said that they thoroughly checked Presser Lake Reservoir. So the first day, AWP didn't search it. They searched Donner Lake. They searched ponds and stuff like that was leading out of the campground going towards her house. The second day they decided, well, even though we were told not to, we're going to. Okay, cool. So you tell me by 35 minutes into them searching this thoroughly searched lake, why they found her minutes into putting this boat in the water and her car. Law enforcement did a thorough search. Did they say not to search this lake? That's just like Hawkins County, though. Hawkins County Sheriff told AW. Why? AWP has a very good reputation. They don't charge the family and they don't charge law enforcement for doing this. I'm sorry, I know I cut you off. Go ahead.
Cut who off?
What were you going to say, Laura?
Oh, I was going to say.
You were about to say Hawkins County.
Someone either doesn't know the definition of thirst, or someone that is in a authority of saying we don't need you to do this, and they're covering their ass.
I don't know. It still don't make no damn sense to me. Because you know how stupid and just, can you imagine what they feel like right now, knowing that they told them not to search at to begin with, and then they found her there? So that either looks like Ellie was trying to cover up something, or they were just lazy and didn't want to fucking search to begin with. But there's just something really fucking wrong about that picture.
So.
That's like with Summer's case. I honestly, truthfully believe that the show with her gone missing, because not for nothing, like within weeks of Summer going missing, it came 6 to 7 indictments on the drug dealers in her. They got like 3 or 4 of them in that area off the street. So what if they were, and you know, they have at least 14 SROs. RSOs, I'm sorry. They have like at least 14 RSOs that live in her neighborhood alone. One's got charged last week or the week before and got convicted with 6 years in jail for having
I'm
child
glad you rearranged those.
pics.
I was trying to figure out what are your letters.
But you said what?
You rearranged
What did you just
the
say?
letters.
Say that one more time. Oh yeah, I always do that. I don't know why I always say it backwards. I always do.
You
But
you literally
they
had
have
me
so many of those living. But scratching your head like, what the fuck is she trying to say?
Yeah.
I know. I know. That's why I had to sit here and think for a minute. Like, wait, did I say it right? Gemma, I'll give you a rundown of what if we abbreviate things, what they mean, because there's certain things allowed to say on YouTube, and then there's certain things not allowed to say, and you can get striked, you can get banned, you can get all kinds if you say things out of character. And with me not being monetized, I can say whatever I want, but I try to keep myself doing it the right way, so that way, if and when I do become monetized, I can I know what not to say.
And allegedly words.
I will. I'll make sure I make a list of it and send it to you. I don't know if you know Gemma. She's from Likey. Gemma, have you ever
looks familiar.
Do you know? Have you ever heard Blue Poet on Likey?
I'm not blue.
You're what?
Not Blue Poet on Likey anymore.
You were, and that's what everybody would know you by. You were Blue Poet for years. I forgot you changed it. It's what is it?
Yeah.
Beastwood something now?
It's Beastwood.
You all changed your names, so it's kind of confusing now. Oh, did I tell you they released my original? It wasn't.
No.
It wasn't supposed to be released until the end of next month. What?
You're out of jail?
You're going? Yeah. When I was in jail.
No.
Hold on a minute. Hey, Laura, hold on a minute. Don't go nowhere. Somebody comes in telling me, make your dog loose.
Hey there. mommy's lap. It's tough being a puppy. It's tough being a puppy. Okay, baby. I'm okay.
Oh my God. All right, I am so sorry. I'm back. Holy shit. You still there?
Are you still there?
Yep. Hot as fuck now. My dog like literally tore her damn harness in pieces.
Yeah, mine, the whole walk. It's more fun for mommy to carry him a bit.
Damn, it's fucking hot out there, yo. Ooh, it's hot. It almost makes me want
90 here.
you know, if I go outside again, run out there naked. Yeah, I don't know what it is here. I haven't looked. I know at like 8 o'clock it was like 80 something.
Well, I know it's raining and storming here for a couple hours around noon. I mean, Nico's completely hogging the bed, freaking out about thunder. Freak out about a here.
What time is it?
It's 11:30.
Yeah. No, I got an appointment at 1. I was just making sure it's nowhere that time. That's why I went early today, because normally I go about 1, 2 o'clock when nobody else is on. I try to do that. I try to go when there ain't nobody else on, so that way, you know, they don't have very many choices to go through. But
Yeah.
it's okay, because, you know, I still get the feeling whether I'm or not. What was it about? The way they do it, I don't know. I've got like so many watch hours, and the views. I've got over 1,000 views. Over 100,000 impressions. That's good or bad. Yeah. Well, no, it's over 1,300 views. Watch hours. I'm pissed because I had to have 4,000. I'm only over 1,100. And subscribers, I need at least 500 to get my community tab free. Oh, please, Lord, let that. Please, Lord, don't let that go again. She's in the woodsy. Like, I know there's poison ivy out there. I don't need to break out with it. I've already got all kinds of shit from going camping last year. I was like, I want to go camping again. I'm like, can I heal up first? He's like, at least 1 or 2 more times before the summer ends. And I was like, fuck that. Let's go like the end of September. Oh my god. My subscriber went down. It was up, now it's down. And it doesn't tell you who the fuck was you that you lost subscribers. Workers.
Apparently.
What are you doing, Spasmatic? Let's see what I have. I need $10 more.
No.
5, 6, 7. There's 7.
What furballs think I'm not allowed to. Come on, baby. Oh.
Lord. What are you growing about, Eva? I don't know if it is or if it just keeps losing service.